Grave money. In a certain land, there existed a deeply rooted tradition. When a wealthy man died, he was buried with half of all the money he had left. The other half was given to his family. This custom was based on a long-standing belief that when someone dies, they transition into another world, a continuation of existence. The money buried with them was believed to serve as a form of capital to help them start afresh in that new realm, ensuring they didn't begin from nothing. One day, the wealthiest man in the land passed away. True to custom, he was buried with an enormous sum, so much money that it could have sustained generations. But as the people mourned and honored his passing, a hungry man watched silently. His name was Ododo, a poor carpenter. Ododo, poor and desperate, and as he reflected on the burial, a thought struck him: we, the living, are in need of this money. Who said the afterlife even requires currency? Even if it does, not this particular one. What if the next world is free? And even if it's not, who said this money is valid there? The idea began to fester, until one midnight, unable to resist the temptation, he crept into the graveyard. He dug up the grave of the wealthy man, Mr. Boku, opened the box buried with him, and found it overflowing with money. Ododo took the box, carefully resealed the grave so that no one would suspect anything, and hurried home with his prize. Back in his small home, Ododo was overwhelmed with joy. He opened the heavy box, his eyes widening as the money spilled out. He began counting it. He counted all night and all through the next day, and yet, he hadn't even reached 1/10 of the total amount. Finally, he gave up on counting altogether and sat back in amazement. This money will last for generations, he told himself. There's no need for me to ever work again. He set out to live his best life. He bought the finest homes, ate any food he desired, and refused to settle down in marriage. Instead, he changed women as often as he changed clothes. The people were both shocked and impressed. What a hard-working man, they said. He must have labored silently all these years. Now he is reaping the fruit of that labor. No one had ever seen signs of his wealth before, so his sudden affluence was attributed to secret hard work and diligence. He received chieftaincy titles, performed great charitable acts, and was hailed across the land. The people even said, "We thought we had lost our Messiah when Mr. Boku died, but Ododo has replaced him. Now we have someone to run to again." Even the king respected him. But behind his fame and success, no one knew the secret. Ododo believed he had successfully outsmarted the old tradition, but he was wrong. One night, he slept deeply on his golden, soft bed. But when he opened his eyes the next morning, he was in the graveyard, lying beside Mr. Boku's grave. Shocked and confused, he muttered to himself, "Is this a dream?" He rushed home, unsettled, but determined to shrug it off. The next morning, it happened again. He woke up in the graveyard. Panicked, he decided he would no longer sleep. For one whole week, he kept himself awake at night, believing that if he didn't sleep, he couldn't wake up in the graveyard. But nature always wins. One night, overwhelmed by exhaustion, his eyes shut. And when he woke up, once again, he found himself beside Mr. Boku's grave. Desperate, he knelt before the grave, clutched the soil, and wept bitterly. He begged to be freed. Convinced that his cries had been heard, he returned home with a flicker of hope. But that very night, Mr. Boku appeared in his house. Terrified, Ododo tried to run but found his body paralyzed. He couldn't move. Mr. Boku looked at him and said, "Return my money." Ododo fell to his knees, pleading, "Please don't do this to me. If I return the money now, everyone will know I'm broke. How will I face them after living as a wealthy man? The shame, the mockery. I've used the money well, I've helped the poor, I've given to the needy, even your family, I bought them gifts and gave them money. Please, forgive me." Mr. Boku gave a cold smile and replied, "It doesn't change the fact that you are a thief, a very dangerous one. You took someone else's hard-earned wealth and now claim to be a philanthropist. What a joke." He continued, "I give you a choice. 1. Return all the money. Sell every property you acquired with it, add it to whatever remains, and put it all back. Or 2, obey every single instruction I give you from now on, without delay. If you ever disobey or hesitate, I will humiliate you beyond your imagination, you'll wish you were dead. Ododo quickly accepted the second option. I'll obey, he said. I'm a very obedient person. I love instructions. Mr. Boku disappeared. For a few days, everything was peaceful. Then, one day during a meeting with the chiefs and the king, where Ododo was enthusiastically presenting his plans to beautify the village, a voice echoed in his head, "Slap the king." He froze. Was it his thought? Then it came again, louder, "Slap the king now." His heart pounded. "No," he whispered to himself. "Please give me another instruction." Before he could finish pleading, a hard, unseen slap landed on his cheek. He winced in pain, holding his face. The chiefs noticed and asked what was wrong. He said nothing. But before he could gather himself, another slap, harder, hit him from a different angle, making his jaw feel dislocated. Panicked, he ran toward the king and, like a man possessed, slapped him twice across the face. The room froze. No one moved. The king, shocked, speechless. The guards leapt forward, but the king raised a hand, stopping them. Ododo fell to his knees, apologizing, saying he didn't know what came over him. The news spread like wildfire. The villagers were stunned. Ododo slapped the king. Impossible, many said. He is humble and respectful. Even when he was poor, he was never like that. But the strangest was yet to come. A few days later, the voice woke him up from sleep in a broad daylight, a very sunny afternoon. Go to the market square. Find the mad woman who always parades the square. Ask her to urinate in a bowl. Drink it there, in front of everyone. Ododo begged again, but a hard knock, an invisible blow, struck his head. Trembling, he took a bowl and went to the market square. He approached the mad woman, who stared at him in confusion. People gathered, watching the strange sight of their wealthiest man begging a mad woman for urine. Eventually, he offered her money. She accepted, urinated into the bowl, handed it back, and in full view of the stunned crowd, Ododo drank it and walked away in shame. Now, no one doubted the rumors. He slapped the king. Now he drinks urine. He must be into money rituals, they whispered. People grew afraid of him. Even those he had once helped stopped accepting anything from him. On another day, while inspecting workers on his farm, the voice returned, "Strip yourself naked and run from here to the market square." He begged again, and a burning whip struck his back. He tore off his clothes and ran. The workers tried to stop him, thinking he had gone mad, but he outran them. He arrived at the market square, completely naked. The verdict was final. "He's a ritualist," they said. The villagers cursed him. The king and chiefs banned him from their meetings. He had all the wealth he could ever want, cars, houses, lands, anything money could buy. But what was wealth without peace, freedom, or love? Ododo had everything, yet nothing. Eventually, he made a decision. He quietly sold all the properties he had bought with Mr. Boku's money. He gathered the proceeds, added it to what was left, and at midnight, returned to the grave. He buried the money back into it. Then, he made a public confession in the village square. Moved by his honesty and brokenness, the people forgave him. Ododo returned to his old carpentry work and lived humbly. He learned a lifelong lesson, that there is no gain in shortcuts. Free money often brings free troubles. The shorter the shortcut, the bigger the problems. From that day on, through hard work, he earned his living. And with it came peace, dignity, and contentment.